My mom saw it, and my mom was like, "Asi kama hapo singama sitamukatamka paka paneas."
Hi guys, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Brand Rich podcast. Here we talk about marketing, business growth, branding, and today in studio I have an amazing guest, businesswoman, career woman, and also an entrepreneur. And I'll let her do the introduction, and we'll straight away start with the conversation. You're highly welcome
Thank
to this podcast.
you. Thank you for having me here, Warren.
Yeah, so kindly introduce yourself to the viewers, those that might not know you, what you do, and who you are as a person.
Hello, everyone. My name is Natasha Katondachi. I am a child of God. I'm a born again Christian. I run a business called Nkore Organic that manufactures organic natural cow ghee from Ankole. I'm also in the professional workspace. I am a computer scientist by profession, also a project manager by training. By practice, I am a career coach and I currently serve in the careers unit at Cavendish University, Uganda. I am a sister, I am a daughter, and I'm a friend to many, and it's good to be here.
Seems you have quite a number of titles. So where exactly should we actually start from? So heading straight to the conversation, what's that one thing you think people would be surprised to learn about you?
Interesting. For the people that I have engaged with or gotten to ask the question of what was their first impression about me, many
Yeah.
people before they become very close to me, they think I'm unapproachable.
Based on the look,
I think,
you,
yeah, I
you
think
look too serious.
I give off that very serious look,
Yeah.
and yet I am the goofiest person you
And
will ever meet.
probably that's it's something I've also noticed. It's just that today you're not just putting on your glasses, but when you're putting on those glasses,
It makes it
yeah,
worse.
it makes it worse. You look more like a serious person. So I think that's why people think you are that serious and unapproachable.
Yeah, I think I have that aura about me that gives the impression that I'm unapproachable,
Mm,
but in actual sense, and
yeah.
I think you can bear me witness, also my really close friends and family, I am the goofiest person
Yeah, I
that
can
you'll ever
testify.
meet.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
really testify about
Yes.
that. So, what's that one? If you could describe your journey in one word, in just one word, what would it be?
Favored.
Mm,
Yeah. I think my journey has really been favored. Like when I look back and see all the things that God has carried me through
mm,
and all the rooms that I step into right now,
mm,
for honestly, it's been good. I can't even say that it's my abilities or anything. I know it's been good because
mm,
many times I step into rooms and I'm like, what am I doing here? Because I don't belong here. Like they are very, like high profile people and whatever.
mm.
I think I've been really favored.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
also a high-profile person because with all those titles,
Oh,
you can.
well, what titles, friend? Selling gay.
Yo, do you know what it means? You just mentioned around like 5 titles in the introduction. That is way beyond a high profile. So I would also term you as a high profile.
Hype man. Hype man. This one is a hype man, guys.
Okay, I want to ask you one funny question. What's
Hmm.
that one thing you did today morning? First,
The first thing I did,
yeah, today morning.
I woke up, got out of my bed. The first thing I did today was iron.
Mm,
Yeah, I ironed. I got out of bed and then I went straight to ironing because today is
mm,
Sunday and I had to go to church.
How was
Yeah,
service?
it was great.
Which just be good.
Watoto church, Tinda.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm.
So now diving into your career and
Mhm.
entrepreneurship journey. Tell us a bit about your professional background. We understand you work at Cavendish University and how you ended up at Cavendish University.
Mm, so I went to Cavendish University for my undergraduate. I studied computer science there.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I used to be quite active. I was in everything, like both the academic and non-academic activities. I participated in Miss and Miss Cavendish.
Yeah.
I was crowned Miss Popularity. fun
Ovada.
facts, fun facts that you did not know about me. A whole Miss Popularity. I think it was 2018 to 2019, thereabout.
So you
Uh,
were on a modeling journey, right?
yes, bro. I even joined the modeling agency after that.
So it's quite funny how people switch professions. Like for someone that was a model at that time, telling someone you're a career coach at some point in your life.
Well,
Oh,
I was not doing it because I wanted to pursue it
yeah,
professionally.
yeah.
Honestly, I'm just like just a very proactive person. I'll say that even now I'm proactive, but because now I'm more mature,
Yeah.
so I'm still proactive, but like in things that have some sort of contribution to where I would like to be. But at that time, because I'm a very proactive person by nature, I would just engage in anything. But I thank God that I was that kind of person, because also it opened doors for me to
Oh,
many
yeah, yeah.
opportunities, some of which that I'm benefiting from right
Yeah,
now.
the networks.
Yeah, so yeah, I participated in Miss and Miss Cavendish. I
Mm,
participated in entrepreneurship competitions as a team lead for a health prize group where we're working on projects. Um, I used to debate when I was at university as well. I volunteered in offices to do many different things. Yeah, so while I was there, I was also top of my class. That's class of 2022, computer science. I graduated. So after graduation, I went straight into entrepreneurship. I got into tech entrepreneurship and I co-founded a startup with a very dear friend of mine with whom we had gone to high school for so many years. So we got onto that journey. We built a digital marketplace where techies like developers, graphic designers, UI UX, where they would upload their work and get hired on freelance basis, but also on full-time role. So we ran that for about 3 years, and then Cavendish University opened up an innovation hub for the students. So because I was very active when I got out of the university, they also got to know about the work I was doing at WAPI. So when they opened up an innovation hub, they reached out to me, and there was an opportunity, and I applied for it. I went, I did the assignments, and I also did interviews, and God was gracious enough. I got the job, and now I serve in the careers unit. I also support the innovations and entrepreneurship office.
That's quite an interesting journey.
Yeah, that's how I got to Cavendish.
Yeah, so from modeling to tech, now
Guys,
employability
the
and
modeling
careers.
thing, I was just doing it for fun.
That's
For
quite an
fun.
interesting journey.
Yeah.
And
I was also once on a billboard, by the way,
yeah, what?
under that modeling thing. I did an ad for what's what's that insurance hospital also, insurance company and hospital, I forget the name.
Yeah, so I think
AAR.
AAR.
Yes, yeah.
I think I know that one.
Yeah.
So I think that could actually be an inspiring journey for like some of the young people out there, because
Thank you.
people tend to like fix their minds in one thing and they don't really open up to opportunities. And I feel like your journey has been way broad. Like you really took different opportunities, and I think that's why you are who you are right now. So diving into your entrepreneurship journey, so how did Korea Organics come up and what sparked the idea?
I think I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, to be honest. Like anytime I'm there, my mind is cooking and I'm thinking, what's the next business I can run? What's the next problem that I can solve and all that. So personally, I enjoy local food. I really, really love a good home cooked meal. I will have junk once in a while, but not so much. At the very most, like once a week or twice a week, at the very most.
Yeah.
But mostly, I love to have a very well done home cooked meal. Even if it's not home cooked, I'll look for local foods in local restaurants.
Yeah.
And so, because we live in Kampala, I know there are also many people like me, but they cannot access some of the organic and natural food additives that they can use to make their food more spicy and tasty. So this one time I am in the village with my auntie, and we are having kalgi, and she's like, but do people in Kampala get access to kalgi? Like, how do you guys get kalgi when you're in Kampala and you need to use it?
Quote unquote quality.
Yes, quality kalgi. So when she mentioned it, I actually deeply thought about it, and I'm like, that's quite interesting because I love ghee myself, but when you're in Kampala, you don't really have a reliable person to get it from. So that's how we started and decided to be the distributors and the producers for people who might need some ghee in Kampala, and that's how the business started. And in future, we hope to also widen the range of the products by bringing in also some other food additives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting, and I love that for you, like the entrepreneurship part, and also the fact that you're able to bring quality and reliable ghee in Kampala, because it's something we are really struggling with. A lot of so many sellers who are selling the ghee that is not actually on the standard that people expect it to be. Like we have had so many complaints, my friends and people who have used different ghee, like reviews and everything. Yeah. But I personally have used your ghee and I can testify. This is not actually an ad, but it's something I've used before, so I can really testify how good the ghee is and how reliable it is. So I would recommend it to fellow friends and the people watching this podcast. So now we get an understanding that you are an entrepreneur and also career woman at the same time. So personally, and I think also the people watching this podcast are like wondering, how do you strike a balance between the two? Your work at Cavendish and also your other business. Yeah.
I live by the mantra that there's no true balance in life. There's nothing like work-life balance, or if you have a job and then you have a business, there's nothing like balance. What happens is that you plan for your time. Yeah. So if you know that, I need to be in the office by, 8 a.m., these are the tasks that I have on my desk, and this is what I have to do. I plan. I'll be like, I'll be at office, on Monday by 8. By 4 p.m., I should be done with everything that I have set out to do. And then I can give the last hour to, maybe check some messages on our pages and see if there are any inquiries or if there's any notification that came up maybe that I missed. But usually I rarely miss them. Maybe put up a few reposts. We have someone that helps us with that. So brand reach helps us. Our hosts for the day actually. They help us with managing our socials. So if maybe there was a post that went up and then I need to put it up on my status, so I will use that 1 hour to do that before I get on my way back home. And then maybe we'll use Saturday to shoot content perhaps. So we always start the week with a plan of like, I know I have to be at work on these days and at this time, and this is what I have to deliver. I have that delivered. These are the goals I have for my business this week. These are the goals I have for my work this week. And I'll make sure that, I start to tick them off. And yeah, I can't say that there's like a clear cut balance, but I set out my goals and find ways to meet them in a given time period that I set for myself.
Yeah, you talked about content creation and yeah, the fact that you partner with us. Thank you. And I would also love to tell these people we are good at what we do at Brandridge, and would recommend our own agency. Is it bad to recommend yourself? So
well, it's your channel, so you can do what you want.
So the thing is, Uh, you are now the face of this brand,
Mm.
Korea Organics. You, most people have seen you. Most probably, people that haven't actually checked out her page, her TikTok is in Korea Organics, X in Korea Organics. So if you've missed out on any of this work, like check out her personal pages. Then I would love to ask you, like, how did it become so much easier for you to like get into camera, start creating content with that picture out there
Mm.
that you're a very serious person and people know you for like being a very serious person, but we have seen like different content creators do funny stuff in front of camera. So how has that been for you?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's been easy, honestly, because I'm not camera shy, so to
Mm,
speak.
mm,
I can't say I'm so much of a social media person, but I've also learned to accept
mm,
that the day and age that we are in is all
mm,
about digital marketing, social media, and being online. Gone are the days where when you'd have a business, you'd have door-to-door sales, when, people move
mm,
and go and meet people physically to sell to them their products. Now people are online.
mm,
You have to create a relationship with your audience, create content that they relate with.
mm.
That's the day and age that we are in now. People are on their phones, people are scrolling, people are on websites. So that's where you're going to meet the clients that you want to buy from you.
Okay.
So once I understood that, I knew that that's the way to go. And, you know, not moving with that will only leave me behind.
Mm,
It will do me a disservice. So I
mm.
could as well do myself and my business a favor and
Yeah.
move with what is moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we understand juggling all these roles is not something that is that easy. So what does like a normal day for you juggling all these roles look like?
So on a normal day,
Mm,
I am up by 5 a.m.
mm,
I do my morning prayer from 5 to 5:30 a.m. and then at 5:30 I'll do my Bible study.
mm,
And then at 6 I'll get into the shower, get ready to go to work. By 7:20 I'm leaving the
mm,
house, and by 8 I'm on my desk.
mm.
So usually I write my to-do list a day
Yeah.
before. Yeah, so my to-do list is segmented.
Mm,
It has what I need to do at work, in my
mm,
job, what I need to do for my business, and what I need to do also for my personal needs.
yeah.
And so during the day, I will work around that to-do list to make sure that I take it off. When I have a to-do list, it's very easy for me to run things because I know this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do. And then maybe if something else comes to mind that I need to do, I'll
Mm,
write it down for the next day,
mm,
like that. So during the day, I'll be battling my to-do list to achieve all the things that I've set out to do. Then if it's Monday or Tuesday,
mm,
by 8 p.m.
mm,
mostly I'll be at home, unless if I have like dinner with a friend or something. But if I don't, I'll be home by 8 p.m., do my night routine, pray, and by 10 I'll be in my bed. If it's a Wednesday, um, by 7 p.m. I'll be at cell, do cell. On Wednesday I sleep a bit late because by the time I come back from cell and do my night routine, it's
yeah.
like 11 p.m. Yeah.
And how are you able to like keep a conscious mind even after all that, like all that work throughout the day? Like, do you have like some sort of activity, fun activity you do in the evening? It could be music, it could be
Hmm.
jogging, it could be
Honestly, right
podcasts.
now
Yeah.
I don't have much of fun. I don't know. I think my I need to find a life actually, because
Yeah.
one thing I would say that I do that really really is therapeutic and helps me
Yeah.
wind down really well after a very long day.
Mm,
I like to go to my shower, play a good playlist, mostly a worship playlist or a praise playlist,
mm,
and I will go and I will take a long shower, like an intentional shower where like every part of my body is taken care of with intention. And
yeah.
that helps me to relax so much. And then once I'm done with that, I'll probably catch like an episode of a series on Netflix, or I'll
Mm,
watch one episode of a podcast. And usually I will
Yeah.
doze off while doing that, and then I'll go to bed. Yeah,
So
so that helps me a lot. I used to jog, but honestly, I haven't jogged in a minute. Yeah, and my knees are screaming.
yeah,
I
so
need to
that's how
jog.
you calm down the work stress and
Yes,
everything.
yes, yes, and it
Okay,
helps
that's
a
very
lot.
interesting.
Yeah.
So now getting back to Nkore Organics. So what marketing strategies have you used, and which ones have actually worked for you, or you think will actually work for you as they look promising
I think at the moment we're mostly doing social media marketing and recommendations.
and
Yeah.
recommendations?
Most of the people who have purchased our products recommend
Mm,
us to a friend and another friend.
yeah.
And majority of the clients we've gotten either through personal relationships and also social media. So
Mm,
for now, it's mostly been social media. We've also tried to talk to like some supermarkets, and that is still in the pipeline.
mm,
Yeah. So mostly, it's called mouth to mouth, I believe, right?
okay.
And then social media and recommendations.
So probably if you're doing social media,
Mm.
then there has to be like sort of a distribution channel.
Yes.
How do you make sure that these clients get the gig in that stipulated time?
Oh,
Yeah.
so of course they reach out to us, they communicate to either me or the brand reach team, and then we do deliveries. They can either pick up the gig or we send it to them.
So what would you prefer, like most deliveries, or you prefer people?
We don't mind any. If a client says they're around, our location and they want to do a pickup, we don't mind.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, what's that one mistake you've ever made in business that up to now you still regret, or in your career? Sorry, because you are wide, you're in the entrepreneurship
Hmm.
and also in the career path. So it could be either in your career path or in your entrepreneurship journey.
I
So,
think let me talk about business.
mm,
There's a business that I invested in,
mm,
and I hadn't done enough research,
mm,
so it didn't last long. Obviously, not Ngori Organics, another business.
mm.
It didn't last long, but also it ended in a very not cool way. So when I thought about it in hindsight, I thought that maybe I should have done a little bit of more research and not just
So,
yeah. I wasn't
so,
keen enough
so
on
you
the
started the
research.
busined without making proper research
I
about it.
did, I
Yeah,
did, but I think I was naive in the way I did the research. It
in the
wasn't
way.
sufficient, yeah.
So the business had already been set up, and
Mm.
you actually stopped doing the business because
Yeah, I lost some money
oh,
along the
sorry
way.
about
Yeah.
that.
No, that's part of life.
Yeah, by
You
the
can't
way,
learn if you don't.
we always tell people about entrepreneurship and tell them it's not a straight
It's
path.
not for the
Yeah,
faint-hearted, bro.
so you'll
Yeah.
get like random blocks within the way,
Mm,
but the fact is that you need to pull yourself up and actually start some other business or
mm,
keep on doing the same business. You never know how it works out.
right.
And most people think going to this part of like capital and everything. So people think
Mm,
to start up a business like you did, it requires a lot of capital, or like for someone that doesn't have that amount of money, but they have that kind of like entrepreneurial mind and
mm.
they want to start up a business. How would you advise them?
If they don't have enough,
Yeah, you see the levels in this in capital. Like someone wants to start a business, but they're limited. They
mm,
think maybe to start a business you must have around 100 million, or yeah,
of course, businesses are different.
yeah,
Some are more capital intensive than others.
yeah,
However, what I would say is that don't wait to have 100% of what you need for you to start, because you will never start.
mm,
The most important thing for you is to begin,
yeah,
and then the rest of the things you'll figure them out along the way. I'm not saying that rush into it, because also
yeah,
you need to do business. You need to do research. But if you have done your research and you're sure that this thing has the potential to work,
mm,
and you have an idea of how long it's going to take you to recover your initial investment, you have an idea of who your target audience is going to be,
mm,
um you should start. If you have some resources, don't wait to get 100% of them. You should start, because if you wait to get 100%, like, life is always moving. There's one thing coming up after the other after the other. there is not a time where you will be at 100% and you'll be like, now is, it's perfect for me to begin. And then another thing also is that, you see, business is funny. You will do the projections on paper na ye ku ground. Hey, friends, the projections are there. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Like, if you have an idea, and there are like 60-70% chances that this idea is what is, but it's like just how we went to school, like you're in class learning, but when you reach in the workspace, it's a bit different also. You understand? So even business, you'll have all these projections on paper. You've written down your target audience, blah blah blah. These are the outreach channels that we hope to use. This is how many sales I'm going to make in a week, bro. Yeah, so when you actually start, there's lessons that you're going to learn in a more practical setting.
In the journey.
Yes, on the journey, and that's okay. So the most important thing is to start.
Yeah, so the thing is just to start and also start with a small.
Exactly, start with what you have, and then you will grow with time. Yeah, as long as you're consistent and you're persistent when you're.
Thank you for sharing that. I think it's such a helpful thing to the young people out there who maybe think they don't have the right amount of money to start a business, or feel like maybe it's a bit hectic to like start a business and also start like their own journeys to like creating employment.
Right.
So getting back to Nkori Organics, where do you see Nkori Organics in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see us having increased our range of product. I see us having triple the customer base that we have at the moment. Yeah. Increasing our range of products and also tripling our client portfolio at the moment.
So I have an inquiry, and I think some people, because this podcast is actually watched by different people, people from Acholi, people from Bara, people from, so there are people that who want your ghee, or that want your ghee, but apparently are not in Kampala. So are you able to distribute to like other parts?
Absolutely, we
not
are.
Kampala?
Yes, we can send the ghee out, beyond Kampala. Just holla, we got you.
So you talked about expanding. You also have that vision of maybe setting up different branches in different districts around the country?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to depend on, because like I said, the projections you have, but also when we now increase our product portfolio, and then we see how are the clients consuming, what are the needs when it comes to distribution, especially. It's not just a matter of having branches everywhere and then people just know that Nkori Organics is big because they have branches. No, I think people should expand physically based on their distribution needs for their clients. So if we feel like, if we have one outlet, for example, on Kampala Road, and we feel that it is serving sufficiently for all the demand that we have at the time, there may not really be need to have branches elsewhere. If we feel that there is, maybe we have like more retailers, that, and we're supplying to retailers, and they need like some sort of depot, then yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess we'll be praying for that, because
Amen.
it's something we want
Amen.
in the
Thank
near
you.
future. So we're praying for you. So moving on to the marketing and branding side. So what role has branding really played in marketing your business?
I'd say that it gives the business what, like a reputation of sorts. With branding, whenever you mention the business, there's something that comes to a person's mind. When you talk about the business, if it's very well branded and like you're putting the brand out there, there is always that thing that will come to a person's mind whenever you mention, for instance, like ghee.
So personally, how would you describe your own personal brand, like in one word, something that someone can look at and know that this is Encore Organics without having to read the name, like something that can make them understand that this is your brand.
I think our colors,
Yeah.
and also the kind of content that we use to market.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, being in a tricky market whereby there's a lack of authenticity, like sometimes products are on point, the next day they are not on point. Like people have failed, entrepreneurs basically have failed to like be consistent in terms of authenticity. So how do you balance that to make sure that your ghee is 100% authentic? Like if someone that bought from you ghee yesterday and recommended to the next person, so that how do you make sure that the next person gets the same feeling as the previous client that
I think for
recommended
me
them?
right now, at this point at
Yeah.
least, my priority is the client, and my
Mm.
priority is to make sure that the client is happy.
Mm.
I don't care much right now how many clients I have.
Mm.
What I care for mostly is that the few clients that I have, are they happy? Are they
Yeah.
are they satisfied with the product that they have?
Yeah.
And so that's I always, reach out to them. I'm
Mm.
like, how is the ghee? Are you enjoying it? Did it meet your expectations? How is, the packaging? Perhaps do you have any feedback for us? So
Mm.
for me, that's what keeps me in check. I want to make sure that my client is happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now moving on to the budgeting part. Do you always have a marketing budget set in place? For
Encore Organics is still very small at the moment. We do have a budget that we discussed with Brandrich and their team. Something that we can start with at our level. But yeah, we do have it in mind. We talked about it, and it's something that was agreeable to both of us. Of course, with time, as the business grows, even the budget will expand.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, is the budget there? Yes.
It is.
That's something that fits in our current means at the moment. Yeah.
So what's that one advice you would give to that person that is running a business, but they actually don't have a budget, a marketing budget for their business?
Marketing is how clients are going to come, and sales is the backbone of any business. So if you don't market, you may not be able to bring in sales.
So from a scale of 1 to 10, okay, we can also use from based on 100%. So what percentage does your marketing budget take, or what advice would you give to some other business owner out there to like consider like this percentage for their marketing, like how you have like annual budgets, monthly budgets?
I can't
So
give
what?
like a specific figure
Yeah.
for businesses, because I mean it's different. You get my needs as someone who is in food and food products manufacturing may not be the same needs as someone who is in cosmetics. You understand? If someone has, for example, a store on Kampala Road, their needs may not be the same for that who is operating completely online. For example, you see that the online person needs more visibility than, for instance, the person who has a location at Kampala Road, although even that person still needs a digital presence. Going back to what we talked about of the era that we are in at the moment. So honestly, it varies from one business to another, but the most important thing is that have a marketing budget based on your needs and also your targets for the sales that you need to make.
To just add on what you just said, times have changed. Trends have changed in Kampala. We are no longer back in the old days where there's a bit of like more door-to-door traditional marketing. We are in a country whereby, like personally, your business is in Nigeria. And Nigeria has had one of the worst roads for a while now because we started working on it.
They're working on it, guys.
So we
Some
are
credit.
so we have seen people exiting buildings because of high rent.
Right.
Because they couldn't afford to like sustain the rent because clients were not coming in, and because of the roads. So and landlords were not willing to like put the rent down. So business became tricky. People are forced to like close off business. So like for a person that I think is doing digital marketing and they are heavily investing in it, because I would say for your business, let me first ask you this question. For your business, in terms of delivery and people who like come for pickups, where do you get the largest number?
Deliveries. People pay for convenience all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah.
So that's one thing I tell people.
And it's not even about because they don't want to come to Nigeria. It's mostly they just prefer to be delivered.
Yeah, the convenience. So if you're a business owner, I'm thinking paying all this amount of rent, and probably customers are not coming to your shop anymore. So that should actually be a strategy you can actually pull, and maybe keep doing deliveries to your customers so that you retain them even without having them to like come to the shop. So I think it's something most business owners or entrepreneurs or companies need to like add their budget to it. Like have a stable budget planned for marketing, because I feel like it's a whole background, like a whole backbone to business that people tend to underrate. And most especially like freelancers, when you're looking for a job as a digital marketer and in this freelancing space, you realize people, the amount of money business owners or companies are willing to give to you doesn't really value with what the kind of work you're giving to them. You get people will tell you, I'll give you 200K per month. And honestly, the marketing is actually the background, like the backbone behind the business, the content creation and everything, like you said. So I feel like it's something that is still underrated, and many businesses have actually struggled, and many businesses have been forced to like close down because they don't want to invest heavily in marketing. And I'm not saying this because I'm looking for a gig or something, but I'm speaking it from because this is my kind of professional side, because I'm a digital marketer, and I know that things really work for business. So I have a feeling people need to like invest more in their marketing. And you also do the same thing. Yeah, the content creation, the shoots, I believe they quite take a lot of your money, yeah, that you
and
didn't
time.
anticipate.
Yeah, and
But
time.
at the end, there is a return on investment. So you talked about being a career coach, and as a career coach, what's that one piece of advice you would give to the young professionals, the young people out there who are trying to like find jobs? Because we are in a country where finding jobs even after school is very hard. So what's that one piece of advice you would give to these young people looking for jobs after school?
I think, especially, I'll speak to our generation, the Gen Zs.
Mm,
Because I mean, this is a generation we are in. Those are people who are looking for work. We have this whole notion of know your worth
mm,
that we're actually abusing. We are misusing it. Because you will find, for instance, like someone is fresh out of school, they don't have any experience, they have not been in any practical setting whatsoever, they did not even engage in any activities even while they were at university, and they are refusing to take an entry role because it's paying them peanuts. You understand?
Yeah.
And for me, and I know I'm going to get shot at for saying this, but I don't agree with that. Because the truth of the matter is that there is always a cost to pay. There is a cost to pay, and that is how you invest in yourself. If personally I started working when I was in my senior six vacation, you understand? So me, I got my peanuts at the time. So by the time I went to the university and everything, I had a bit of experience, even if it was not in maybe the role that I'm working in now, but someone who has working experience, regardless of what work they were doing, is always going to have an upper hand over the person who has not done anything. So by the time I finished campus, I am not at the same level as someone who has not worked at all. So if you have just started working after campus, then allow to get the peanuts, allow to go and volunteer, allow to to be exploited as as it is said, that kind of thing. And then that even if you're being paid peanuts, even if all the money that they're paying you is ending up in transport, it's only for a given period of time. They will be paying you peanuts at that time, but in that place is where you're going to meet your next destiny helper. It's where you're going to meet, the next opportunity. It's where your eyes are going to be opened up. You're going to learn how to set your configurations on LinkedIn and, get a lot of opportunities. And then you'll have something to put on your CV, and then you'll have something to start with.
Okay.
You get, but every time you get out of campus fresh and then you want to be paid a lot of money, you don't want to be exploited, you want to know your worth, friend, you're going to stay on the streets for a bit.
Yeah, this is a hard truth.
Yeah, there is always a price to pay. The difference is that some people pay it earlier than others, but regardless of when, there's always a price to pay.
Okay, this is quite a hard question that I want to ask, but I want to get your own personal opinion about this. So you have two people. You're hiring, your company is hiring. For this case, we are putting the core organics as a reference.
Yeah.
So you're hiring probably a digital marketer for your business. So there is one digital marketer who has a skill set, like is good, they have the skills, and probably they have lacked opportunities to work in different places, but here they are seeing an opportunity at Core Organics. So they apply for this job. And there is this person that has worked with different brands, but maybe their skill set might be limited, but they have worked with top brands around the country, MTN, Airtel. You now get what I'm saying. Like where I'm bringing my case from. So now this is you the CEO, and you have to decide between the two.
I don't think someone can
for experience or skills.
I don't think someone can have experience and not have skills. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I totally don't think so. Experience comes with skills, because if you're telling me that you have worked with brands in digital marketing, you have worked with big brands, then what were you doing there? Even if you went when you didn't have the skills, by the time you get out of all those brands that you've worked with, you should have the skills.
Probably we have heard of the Gambano.
No.
People getting jobs because
let me tell you something, especially in the private sector. You could get in a role because of the Gambanogo, but trust me, it's not going to keep you there. It won't. It will open up the door for you, but unless you're in government. But if you're in private sector and every day you wake up and come to work and they're not seeing the impact of what you're doing, you're not going to stay in that role. I am telling you, because I am in private sector. I've worked with very many other private sector organizations before, unless it's government. So, and because of that, even if you came without the skills along the way, if you have been in these brands, let's say you have been across maybe 3 brands for within 8 years, by the time you get out, you will have skills. So for me, you can't tell me that someone has experience but they don't have skills, because even experience is having skills. You understand? Like every day when you are coming to work at these brands, what were you doing? And in those things that you are doing, that's how you get those skills that you learn. So obviously I'm going to take the person with experience if I can afford them, because there is no person that has experience and they don't have skills.
Okay, thank you for your opinion, sharing your opinion, personal opinion about this. And I believe there are people that have different opinions about this, but it's your own personal opinion.
But it's also the truth.
It's the truth, but then there is also that Kagamba Nogu I told you about, because
Like
these are also people that are working.
Gamba Nogu will keep you in like public service positions, and also I'm saying this very silent because I don't want to be shot at, but I'm saying Gamba Nogu will not keep you in a role, trust me, especially if you're in private sector. Guys, private sector is, most of them are unless you're working in a non-government organization, and even for non-government, not-for-profit organization, and even for them, they have targets, they have impact, even if they are not for profit, but there's goals that you're supposed to meet. But if you're working for a private for-profit organization, there needs to be a return on investment. The CEO needs to see why they are paying you. You get? I'm not going to wake up every month and give you 3 million, and then yet I'm not seeing the value for what you're doing. So even if my sister helped you get the job, if you're 3 months into that job and you're doing trash, I'm going to fire you. That's how private sector is. So even if you get into a role because of Gambanogu is not going to keep you in the role. That's how it is. We want private sector bosses want results, they want work, they want impact and profit. So if you're doing nonsense, trust me, you're going to get out that door.
Thank you for sharing. I hope some of them have picked something from this. And I hope you guys are actually learning a lot from her, because I'm also learning. As a host, I'm also learning from you. And I hope the young people out there also are learning. So what do you think are like, if you were to mention the three top skills, what three top skills do you think these young people are looking for jobs as a career coach? What advice would you like, those three top skills do you think every young person looking for a job should actually have, or entrepreneur should actually have? Three top skills.
They should be open-minded, because like I said, we acquire knowledge from university and any other qualifications we might take on. But the truth is that there's more tangible things that you're going to learn in a practical setting. So for you to be able to learn as much as you should, you need to have an open mind, and you need to be willing to be taught, and you also need to be willing to be rebuked. Like, I know people who they don't want to be told that they've done something wrong or to be given feedback generally, but that's how we learn. So you need to be open-minded, you need to be able to work with people. Teamwork is important, because again, if you don't work with people, how will you learn from people who have been there before you? And then you need to be flexible, because right now we are in a very fast-paced world, and things are shifting all the time. Tools after tools, technologies after technologies. So you need to always be on your feet, like the newest thing. You need to be able and willing to learn.
Then the third skill.
Yeah, so I talked about three skills: open-mindedness, teamwork, and flexibility.
Okay, thank you for sharing. So do you ever get attacked by imposter syndrome? And if so, how do you actually deal with that?
All the time. All the damn time. Oh my God. How do I deal with it?
Yeah, how do you deal?
I think because I'm a Christian and I just know that God is faithful, and it is true. Like, I know it, but also it is very true that God is very faithful. So every time I have that other voice that sneaks in with the imposter syndrome, I am quickly reminded by the Holy Spirit that you're not here because of you. You're here because God has allowed for you to be here. Like, God has made everything work out for you, and He has favored you to be in this room. So can you please be obedient and do what God needs you to do, and stop making it about yourself of like, what do you mean I am here? Like, this is a time for me to be obedient
and put God first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I manage.
Yeah, so the religious part of you enables you to deal with the imposter syndrome.
My relationship
Yeah,
with
your
Christ.
relationship with
Yeah,
Christ.
I wouldn't want to call it religious. That's something else.
I'll take it for some other day, because people have different religions and beliefs, and
You
sometimes
can be religious and not have a relationship with Christ. Those are two different things. You're just doing things because that is routine. That's called, that's why it's called like doing something religiously. Like, you're committed to the act. But having a relationship with Christ means that, like, it's intimate. Like, you're not praying because because we grew up knowing that when you wake up you have to pray. You're praying because you trust God for whatever it is that you need, or like to repent, or whatever it is. You pray because it is your response to Him, not because we are supposed to pray. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So that's the difference between having a relationship with Christ and being religious.
Yeah. So as we edge closer to the end of this podcast, getting back to the marketing thing, what marketing trends are there like marketing trends you've seen on the internet that excite you of recent?
By trends, what do you mean? Like,
Like marketing trends, top trends, because marketing is ever evolving.
I'm not a
And
marketing pro, guys. I'm not a pro in marketing.
so
I have
like,
people who help me, but
yeah.
so you mean like, do you mean like
Okay,
videos or things
okay,
that have been
okay. Let
trending on
me
the
let me bring
internet
it to
or
something
trends of
that you might
marketing?
understand. Uh, a trend in marketing that you've seen someone apply that you felt maybe was really good. Like it could be a TikTok challenge, it could be a dance
Ah,
challenge.
okay. A challenge. Okay, that makes it easier for me to understand.
Yeah.
I think maybe the most recent thing was the meerkat meme thing. Yeah, it's been the most recent trending thing.
Yeah.
The
That
meerkat meme,
me
yeah.
watching you doing this.
Yeah, and it's been so funny. And for me particularly, it was very funny because we also used it for Okore Organics, and then I posted it on my status. So when I posted it on my status, my mom saw it. My mom saw it, and my mom was like, "Ashi, kama posting ama shita mukata mukapa kapa ne."
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Guys, let me tell you,
Mm.
I've not recovered.
Well, we
I
targeting
have
the
not
wrong generation.
recovered. No, I mean for like the young people on the
Yeah.
internet, for them they understand it.
Mm.
But like obviously now, like when your parents see it, they just like my mom was actually concerned and she was so confused. She was
Like, why
like,
are you posting a cat?
you're posting the ghee. What is the cut for? She was like, Kappa neat. Guys, I died.
You actually
Yeah.
said it in more like
Even today she said it again. She was like, we are our postings. Ramasta okata hwembwa. Now this time it was a dog. I was like, "Guys." Yeah, so it was extremely
yeah,
funny.
we really need to bridge a gap between our generation and our parents' generation so that and maybe did you educate her about it?
But also, when it comes to social media, so of course I tried to explain to her that it's been trending, but honestly, now a parent, you start telling them trending. First of all, they're like, "What is that?"
Okay,
You get,
already trending. We're already putting them out of the system.
yeah, technical terms. So anyway, I think that because also for them, their generation,
Mm,
the marketing was different
yeah.
from ours. Now is more of digital and social media.
Mm,
For them, theirs was like door to door. I guess maybe even calls, or they would see like traditional media, like
mm.
newspapers and adverts on TV. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know how it can be bridged, but
Yeah, I think
for my clients in her generation, I just tell them mouth to mouth, like when I
yeah.
meet them.
I think we've come to the end of the serious questions.
Yeah.
So I have some few questions for you about your lifestyle, fun and interesting questions. Are you a morning or night owl? Are you a morning person
I
or a
am
night owl?
forced to be a morning person because of this life, but me, I wasn't born to be a morning
You are not born to suffer.
No, no, I mean it's a good thing to wake up early. Like
Mm,
honestly, it's actually a good thing. I have seen the benefits of waking up early. When I wake up early, I have a very productive
mm,
day. I finish my day early and therefore I'm able to do other things.
mm.
I wake up early, but because I don't have a choice, honestly. If I had a choice, I don't think I would be
Yeah,
waking
you
up
have to
early.
chase the bag.
Yeah, I have to chase the bag, but also I am like a productivity person. Like I really like to have a productive day. I want to finish my day and look back and be like, okay, I was able to achieve
Mm,
this, this, and this, and this, and this. So we move on to the next day. I don't like to just live in my day aimlessly. I love to have productive days, and so that's why I'm forced to wake up early, because when I wake up early, I have a very productive day. But if I had that choice, honestly, I would not be waking up early.
okay.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite local food?
I like echtoche and eshabwe.
That's your favorite local
Yes,
food?
and obtura. I
Okay.
don't. I think obtura in English is bitter berries.
Mm,
Bitter berries matoke with a shabwe. Maybe for our non-Western Ugandan audience, a shabwe is a delicacy from Western Uganda that is made out of ghee, water, and magadi salt. Yeah, so it kind of looks like it kind of looks like mayonnaise. Even the texture is kind of like mayonnaise, but tastes nothing like that. So it is used in food. It can also be used as sauce, actually. Yeah, so I enjoy it with matoke and bitter berries a lot. I also love rice. Yeah,
Do you read books or do you listen to podcasts?
both.
Both.
Yeah.
So what would you say was your favorite book or podcast?
Currently, my favorite podcast is Financially Incorrect. It's hosted by Baraka Busi and sponsored by FX Pesa, who is a work partner of ours. The book, there's a book I read by a Ugandan author. It's called Crocs to Stilettos. I forget the name of the author, but she's a Ugandan author, a lady, and it's such an empowering book about leaving your comfort zone and all that, and living in your God-given purpose. Yeah, I think so far it's been one of my favorite books.
Yeah. So what's that one goal you're excited about this year that you want to achieve this year that you really feel excited about?
One, I have so many goals.
Just one, because everything has ranks. So that one goal that
Okay,
ranks
since we
high.
were talking about books, let me just talk about that. So at the beginning of this year, I set a target to read 2 books every quarter. And I think we have concluded the second quarter, and I'm just on my second book for the year. So I'm supposed to read 2 books every quarter. That means that I'd have read 8 books by the end of the year. And we have finished we are midway the year, and I'm on my second book. Guys, pray for me. Yeah, pray for me because
You really need our prayers.
yeah, I'm on my second book, but it's a very good book.
So we have come to the end of our podcast.
Thank you.
It was really a nice conversation. So before we end the podcast, do you have any last message for the viewers?
Guys, buy from us. Anyway, jokes aside. It's been nice being here. So thank you so much for hosting me. You guys subscribe and follow Brand Rich. Also patronize my business. Also send your students to Cavendish University, Uganda. Yeah, and be blessed, and don't forget to pursue your relationship with God.
Thank you for coming through and
Thank you.
sharing these valuable insights. And I feel someone out there has been touched, and it's really good hosting people like you.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
because
helping me.
people love to learn, people love to explore new things, and maybe when you share this, it might help someone out there.
Right.
And I personally say that this was a very interesting conversation, and I really enjoyed every bit of it. And guys, don't forget that one major thing. Don't forget to subscribe for more podcasts like this, for more guests like her. And like she said, you can actually shout out your social media platforms so people can actually follow
My
you.
personal one?
No, I think maybe you can also share them,
There's
but
not much on my personal one.
yeah, your business profile.
Follow Nkore Organics on TikTok and
Mhm.
X, Nkore Organics.
Yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more episodes like this. So till our next episode, I think that was it
Cheers.
from us. Bye. Till next time.
Bye.